What is up, everybody? ShonnyDman here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had yourselves a great weekend. We are back with a Nerd Talk podcast episode, and this is going to be just giving my overall thoughts with Daredevil Born Again. We finished up the series last Tuesday, did a review for episode 9, so this is kind of just going to be a main overall review of that series. And needless to say, it was not what I expected. Quite honestly, it really wasn't good, except for a few bright spots here and there, basically sprinkled throughout the entire 9-episode series. I think there were a lot of issues that I don't know. There were a lot of issues of it because there were a lot of moments in the episode where, because they originally started with, I think, like a 12 plus series at first hand, and then obviously they went back, reshot it, and we got the 9 episodes that we got. There were elements in this series that didn't flow together because they went with other parts of the episodes. One of the things was the whole bank heist in episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 with Kamala Khan's dad, that whole thing. It seems like the original plan was to have that episode, and then the next episode, Matt actually going to Jersey and meeting Kamala Khan's family, even meeting Kamala Khan herself, even though her dad said she was in California with some friends, assumably potentially building the new Avenger or the Young Avengers. They talked about this series as being like a slow burn kind of series. It was not. It was like a lot of the times I was very much bored with it. And then like I mentioned, there was like a few times where there were a few moments where, okay, that was relatively good. Episode 9 was probably the best of the series. But really, my favorite moments of the series were mainly just the Frank Castle Daredevil interactions, what we saw in episode 4, and then what we saw in episode 9. And those are probably the better parts of the series. Everything else just was not good. Like, we got characters that I don't really care about, like Cherry, Detective Kim. I think Kristen was her name, the black female lawyer that teamed up with Matt a year after Foggy's death. I didn't care about those characters. They were just there were holdovers from the original plan of this series, and I just didn't care for them because like you watch episode 1 of Daredevil Born Again, and Matt just tossed Bullseye off the roof. And Cherry walks up, he sees Matt without his helmet on. He's like, Matt? And so I was kind of like, how do you know he's like, how do you know? And apparently, again, this is probably just something that was in the original script, original moments of the first draft of the series that they did. And then we get him sprinkled out throughout the series. Again, didn't really care. Detective Kim, and again, didn't really care. She's mainly present in episode 5 with the bank heist, while she tries to tell a pretty bad Irish joke. And then Kristen, I just didn't care for her. I really didn't. And that's probably because like we didn't spend a whole lot of time with her to really get to know her. But even then, I was just kind of like, she's not Foggy. She's not Karen. And so I don't really care about her. And Heather, the psychiatrist, Matt's new girlfriend, I don't even like her. I don't even care for her either. And what's annoying is because like later on, like episode 8, when they're talking about like she's talking about how she killed Muse and how she You know, how Daredevil and Muse are the same thing or the same person. You know, there's something about people wearing masks that makes them go crazy, that kind of gibberish. And Matt's like, well, there's a difference. Like, you know, Daredevil will save you, and Heather was like, I saved me. And that's complete BS, because if Daredevil didn't show up, Muse would have killed her. Like what kind of bull crap is that, where you're gonna just blatantly say I saved myself? Why? Because you were able to get free in order to grab Muse's gun to shoot him. Again, if it wasn't for Daredevil coming in when he did, you would have died. Plain and simple. So Daredevil saved you. You didn't save yourself. The opportunity presented itself because of Daredevil's arrival and him encountering Muse, that you were able to pick up Muse's gun and shoot him. You didn't save yourself. Daredevil saved you and then opened an opportunity for you to shoot and kill Muse. Like stuff like that. It's like really, really stupid. And I was just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then like episode was it 5? No, episode 4. No, episode 4. We had the whole fiddle faddle crap with the guy getting arrested for stealing a box of cereal. It just pissed me off, because he had several other convictions. He's been arrested several other times, and he is just making excuses, and he's lecturing at Matt and telling Matt to go, you know, make it to where he can go home tonight because he's not going to serve jail time. Buddy, you have committed several crimes time and time again, and you're just making excuses. Like, what are we doing? Like there was no accountability. And then Matt's just like, yeah, you're right. System's broken. Essentially, he didn't say system. Well, I think he mentioned that at one point throughout the series, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make in this situation. The point I'm trying to make is he broke the law on several different occasions, and he's gonna lecture to Matt. Hey, you're my lawyer. I'm not serving time. You go out there and you tell him that I'm going home tonight. And Matt, you know, Matt tries his best to try to get some of his sentence down to like 10 days probation, something like that. You know, Matt's doing what he can. And the guy's just getting mad because I'm not doing no probation. And what did he say? He said, the last time I was on, like, I was in jail or something like that. I missed my my hearing, I think, for his benefits. And they cut his benefits because he missed his hearing. Well, why don't commit a crime which causes you to go to jail, which then causes you to miss your meeting for your benefits? Again, his actions are the reason he's in this situation. Like, it's like, it just frustrated me just hearing that. It's just frustrating. It's a stupid scene. It didn't need to be in there. But anyway, I digress. I didn't like Heather. I thought the White Tiger stuff was good. I thought the court scene or the court elements of the trial with White Tiger was relatively good, especially like how, you know, Matt is able to bring up all this information and find witnesses of people testifying, saying if it wasn't for White Tiger, you know, I wouldn't be here, you know. And even several cops have made reports saying White Tiger helped save them or help put people away. He was able to go free, obviously, and I hate that we didn't get more of him out of this series. It really does. I would have loved to see more of him. Now, obviously, his niece is going to take up the mantle of White Tiger. I've said this a few times throughout my reviews of this series. I would have liked for them maybe to cast a little bit older Angela Ayala, so that way they could, like, potentially for Daredevil season 2, when Matt, because the rumor is Matt's going to get a team of vigilantes to go against Fisk anti-vigilante group. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more Angela Ayala, to where she could come in as the new White Tiger for season 2. But we'll see what happens with that. I mean, they could change it. They could do like recasting. I don't know if we'll see her again. That's basically the thing about it, is that I don't know if we'll see this character again. But so I'm trying to think. So that was really, I hated how there wasn't a whole lot of Muse either. Like, we would just get small snippets of Muse throughout the series until like up to like the final episode of him being in it. Final 2 episodes really of him being in it, and he was such a cool villain. He really was such a cool villain, but I felt like he was very much underutilized because I don't know. I thought he would have been the main, because that was the thing about it when I was watching through the series. I was just like, we're like maybe like 3 or 4 episodes in, and we haven't gotten to like who the main villain of this series is going to be, which I thought was Muse. Turns out that wasn't really the case, but I would have rather Muse been the much more prominent villain in this series than what we got. But whatever. I thought it's definitely a wasted character in my opinion. I think they definitely wasted a character, but obviously we'll have to see. I'm trying to remember all the other episodes. I didn't really care for Wilson and Vanessa doing the whole marriage counseling thing. I didn't really care for it, and because it looks like Vanessa basically hires Bullseye to kill Foggy, because Foggy was about to. The whole thing is revolving around Foggy's death. Is mainly because he found something in regards to the Red Hook port, where because of where it's situated, they had a law, not a law. I forgot what it's called. What is it called? It was basically designated as a free port, meaning it's not controlled or is not adherent to the laws of New York City or the country, which is again a weird thing for a port within the United States not to be adherent to the laws and regulations of the United States. But anyway, so basically, what happens in Red Hook, the Red Hook port, the free port, whatever happens there, anything goes, basically. Like, everything's drugs, sex trafficking, murder, gambling, extortion, whatever you can name it, it's legal in this port because of this charter. And that's the whole thing about what Wilson is trying to do. Now, Vanessa, I believe she probably already knew that, and so she had been already operating out of that port, probably while Fisk was like out of commission, dealing with, with the Hawkeye thing or the Echo thing, whatever. And so now, because Fisk was very adamant on revitalizing or rejuvenating this port, and they very much was talking about it throughout the series, and this is why. It's because if Fisk could set up prime real estate in this port somehow, like build like a not mayor's office, but like Fisk Tower, for instance. Let's go with that. If they were able to do that, then they could basically do whatever they want and not have to worry about the law whatsoever. They could just stay on this little estate and run everything, their criminal empire, from the state, knowing that they can't get arrested or anything like that. So it's interesting. It's an interesting plot of it, but I thought it was cool seeing Bullseye back. He was fine. He was fine. I thought we were going to see him in his like Bullseye outfit, which we kind of did, but then there was like an updated image a little bit later on that kind of showed him with like the Bullseye marker. But I'm sure they'll change, because I think they're doing filming now for Daredevil season 2, because we've seen some leaked footage come out of like Matt in this all black Daredevil suit with the double D's on his chest. And And another issue too is that when I was watching episode 9, how Wilson was like, basically was like, all right, all vigilante activity is now illegal in the state of New York, you know, and anybody will be arrested, shot on sight, whatever. And this is where the problems come in was Marvel, because like you had this whole blackout within New York City. No Spider-Man. Like, even though you kind of mentioned him at the beginning of the series, where when Fisk was talking about all the different types of vigilantes that are running around in the city, a guy with a spider on his chest, I think is what he said. Basically talk about the Punisher. I think he mentioned one more, but no Spider-Man, even though he's in New York. None of the Defenders. Now, obviously, they're probably going to show up in season 2, so that's fine. That's a little bit wait and see kind of thing. Doctor Strange is in New York, but he's probably gone during this point because of him meeting with Clea and going to the Dark Dimension at the end of Multiverse of Madness. I can't think of any other New York-based superheroes, but they're there. The Ninja Turtles. So, and like the series, it's just as a whole, it's just, I just didn't care for it. Honestly, it just wasn't good to me at all. And I was just there. It's just like, it's one of those situations, and this isn't the first time it's happened. I kind of did it during when I was doing the Acolyte review, Star Wars the Acolyte review, where I didn't like the series, but because I had already started the series, I was like, well, I might as well just finish it out. That way I can just give my full thoughts about the series, knowing that I fully watched the series. This is basically the same thing. It's a whole lot of bad and very little good. Like in episode 1, you have like Matt. Maybe not in episode 1. There's other parts too, but like Matt as Daredevil was just like a lot of CGI acrobatics going on, and I didn't like it. And I've seen some people talk about like, oh, now that they were Marvel, they can pump in a lot more money to make it a little bit more, a little bit better. Where the Netflix version, all of that was pretty much practical flipping and parkouring and things like that. And I actually preferred that more than what we got in this series. He was kind of, I don't know how they worked it with the She-Hulk series. Because he was very like acrobatic in that series as well. Even then, that acrobatics was a lot better than what we got in Daredevil Born Again. But I prefer a lot of the practical stuff that was done in the Netflix version a lot more than what was done in this version. I'm trying to think what else was there. We didn't get really information on the whole Adam and Vanessa thing. I thought that would have been something that we could have gotten at just sprinkled at some point throughout the series. Obviously, she was only with Adam because Wilson was gone. Him Fisk killing Gallo was pretty. I think they actually had like a practical head that they used for this. That's pretty cool. The whole Punisher stuff, really loved. I'm curious on if that's going to lead into his own special presentation, because they did mention that they were going to do something like that for the Punisher. And we see at the end of episode 9 in a post-credit scene where he breaks a guard's arm and potentially is going to get out. Probably, I don't know if he'll lock everybody else so they can get out, but obviously we just going to have to wait and see on how that plays out. But I mean, overall, like the Netflix series is up here, and Born Again, it's like just it's below. Like I don't. If I had to give it a grade, I would give it like a C, maybe a C minus, and that's only being gracious because there are a few things in this series that I liked. I loved seeing Matt and Karen back together. I love seeing the Frank and Daredevil personas go at each other over, obviously their ideology. Frank is willing to kill anybody. Matt's not, because we saw it in episode 9 where when I saw the skull, Officer Cole had that Punisher vest on, and I was like, oh wait, that's the one that we saw walk away after they shot Victor. And Matt's holding everything in to not kill the guy, and Frank is just like, do it, and he obviously doesn't do it, and I just love the banter and the clash of ideologies with these two characters. So, but yeah, overall, maybe like a C minus for sure. But I don't know. Maybe I think they are going to course correct for sure. At least I think they are. They should be course correcting, because I don't think the viewership was there for this series. I think I don't think it charted up on any Nielsen ratings or anything like that. But I don't think the viewership for this series was where it needed to be, and so they're probably gonna have to really course correct in order to get people hooked back in for season 2. Because I think they announced season 2 was going to drop March of next year again. At least I think that's right. So, I mean, obviously we'll have to just wait and see on how that plays out. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have. Doing a little quick review of Daredevil Born Again. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below. You can go and check out my gaming channel down in the description below. We are doing Ghost of Tsushima and Shadow of the Tomb Raider over there on this channel. It's going to be a very busy week, because we got The Last of Us Part 2 going on. Andor comes out this week as well. And there's some other content as well that's related to like Star Wars Celebration. We'll do a video going over all the news we got out of that. So definitely you don't want to miss any of that if you're new. So be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.